Get your chin up. Smile. Smile. Okay? Dang, you guys, all right? If not, I'm not talking. Let's get rolling.
WNY watercooler.com.
Steve.
Who the fuck is this guy? Hey, who the fuck are you? Huh? Who the fuck are you? Okay, I like it. All right.
Coast.
Welcome back to WNYwatercooler.com podcast. This is Steve, the host, and we got Coast on the line. No wreck today.
Steve, what's up, man?
We're in a playoff race.
Yeah, we got, what do we have, like a 20% chance of making it if we finish 9-7, I think I saw.
No, it's 20% now. If we go 9-7, it's like 40.
Oh, okay. Well, that's even better. Nice. All we can ask for is to have mid-December games actually matter. So that's a win.
Yeah, no one actually thinks we'll make the playoffs just because we're the Bills, and we've been doing this for 17 years, and Tyrod's our quarterback, and McDermott's our coach, and the team is shitty. The only positive out of any of this is that the teams that we're fighting against are just as shitty, or maybe even shittier.
Yeah, Tennessee's terrible. They're underdogs against San Francisco this week. That team, and they have a tough schedule. I think they have, pulling it up now, but they have to play San Fran on the West Coast this week. I still think they need to play like Jacksonville and
Rams.
Yeah, so like they easily could finish. They might go 8-8. Kansas City, obviously, we want San Diego to beat, win the division, have Kansas City fall out, and if we're in a head-to-head tie with KC, obviously win. If we're in a three-way tie with Tennessee and KC, not really sure how that would work out. We might get screwed because of common games, but that's definitely our best route. Baltimore, I'm pretty much penciling in, although I do think they're going to lose to Cleveland this week.
It wouldn't shock me if the Browns beat Baltimore. I mean, great. Their Browns GM comes out and says that the players that Sashi Brown got are shitty. So, are they going to be motivated for that game? Or are they going to be like, who the fuck is this guy? I'm out of here anyway. The Browns, that franchise is a disaster.
The Browns, who wants to go 0-16? They're definitely motivated to win. And especially against Baltimore. And the Browns are a little frisky now with Gordon. Gordon, he's unbelievable, this guy. Hasn't played in 2 years. He shows up and he's, good right away.
He might be the greatest receiver of all time. Pound for pound, weed-wise. I don't understand how you could be out of the league for 2 years, just come in the middle of a season with a horrible quarterback, and just still be as productive as anyone. That guy, if he's like, there needs to be movies, like documentaries about this guy's life. It's unbelievable.
All the pot he smoked has kept him like feeling young and fresh, I guess. I mean, I wonder what kind of numbers he would have right now, or where he would be considered amongst receivers in the NFL if he never was, suspended all these games. Like he's been, he's ridiculous. But that's a scary game for Baltimore. Cleveland's been knocking on the door for wins the past few weeks. They could,
They do everything to lose. So
They do, but how many times has a team gone 0-16? Like, it hardly ever happens. So
once.
Right. So,
well, back to the Colts.
And they have 2 road games to finish the season. This is their best chance.
Fuck the Browns. We'll go back to the Colts game for a minute. I left at halftime because I didn't anticipate there being 4 inches of snow on the seat and then 8 inches of snow falling during the game and during tailgate. I left at halftime. Oh, my boy got tossed. But that game, you can't take anything out of it other than Peterman. He had a good touchdown pass, and then what? He doesn't know how to slide or something?
That game was, honestly, it was like, I can't even blame you for leaving the halftime. It was like kind of cool to watch for like the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, then it was like, this is just stupid. Like, it's going to be 3-and-out punt, run every play this whole game. Like, it wasn't letting out. I live 8 miles south of the stadium. It was like worse. It was like no one's this is just going to be a terrible game. And, we made just barely enough plays to get the job done. So a win's a win, man.
Yeah, a win's a win, except our coach tried to purposely make us tie the game or try to lose the game. That guy, he's Rex Ryan incarnate. It's unbelievable. And you want to defend him, don't you?
I didn't agree with punting in overtime, if that's what we're going to talk about. I definitely think they should have gone for it. I would have gone for it. I wish he would have gone for it. But I think that people are overreacting to the decision to punt. I think it's defensible, and for a few reasons that I can think of. First of all, given the conditions, like everyone wants to point to like analytics. Oh, analytics says you should go for it on 4th from the 40. Show me your analytics in a blizzard with your third-string emergency quarterback when 40% of your runs have been for 0 yards. Like it's not like they were, just even on that drive. McCoy had 3 out of 4 runs were for like 0 or negative yard. And now you know that we're going to run it. Obviously, I mean, pretty much did the whole game. But my point is, it was maybe like a 60-40 proposition that we would even convert. Secondly, the chances that, we punt and stop them were much higher than normal. Like, obviously, the weather was horrible. The chances that we punt, pin them back, stop, get the ball back first down were good. And even if we converted, we still would have needed to get 2 or 3 more first downs to even have like a realistic chance at a field goal, in which case the game wouldn't even have been over. But if you punt, you stop them.
It would have been over.
You win with a field goal. So... And if you go for it and get stopped, the game's pretty much over. Because even if you stop them, now you're at your own 10-yard line. So I think I can see why they did it. I don't love it, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we need to fire him because he punted in this situation. Like, it's not like it was 80 and sunny. It's a totally different situation that it was Sunday. I don't know. I wouldn't have done it, but I don't think it was like the end of the world.
Was that the first possession of overtime?
What's that?
Was that the first possession of overtime?
Yeah, first possession.
What the timeout? What does this guy have to take fucking timeouts for? To think about things? Can he not think 2 fucking minutes in advance? Or one scenario ahead of time? The timeout to me, I mean, punting, okay, maybe punt it, maybe. I mean, I wouldn't have. But the timeout to me is more egregious. Because you need to stop the clock.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to disagree with you there. They should have known, what are we going to do if we get in this situation? Are we going to punt? Like, you're right. You should know in advance, like, what you're going to do. But, again, this game was so bizarre. Like, you don't prep for these types of situations. Like, it was a once in a career, a once in a lifetime. I mean, people were saying it was the worst weather Bills game of all time, and I think it was. Like, there's been snow games, but never like that that I can remember.
There's been windier, rainier games where our opponents throw for like -4 yards or something. I think of like a Browns game in 2006.
Browns game,
yeah,
2004 Browns game, they had -17 pass yards. But you're right. But at least then you can at least run and see the field. And I don't know.
What is this guy working 14 hours a day for if he's not prepping for the tie game in overtime, 4 minutes left, a tie, and you're out of the playoffs? I don't understand what he's doing all day, every day, if he's not prepping for this stuff. I mean, okay, it's easy to say in the heat of the moment, fire the guy, he's a fucking idiot, obviously, because he is. But, okay, I'm not going to fire him, but he has to learn from these mistakes, and I'm not seeing a progression. I'm not seeing him learning from these things. I still hear him do and say the same shit. Oh, we want to think of all our options. Oh, I had to pray about it. Whatever he does and says, if I see these mistakes again, you got to fire him. I mean, I give him the benefit of the doubt once, and that's it. These are egregious.
I don't think the punt was egregious, and I don't even think you almost have to throw out this type of game. Like it's so you're thinking on the fly. It's like, oh my god, what do we? It's not like if it's 4th and 1 at the 41 in a game that's a normal game, then if he punts there, I'm with you, but. And I don't think by punting he was trying to tie. I know it was like post-game interviews or whatever. He's like, a tie is better than a loss, whatever. Like, he was thinking, and would hope, that if they go for it and get stopped, if they go for it and make it, it's not even a guarantee that they even get a field goal still. And the game's not over if they do. And if they get stopped, it's over. Like, you have to, if you get stopped, they have the ball at the 41. Even if they get no first downs, now you're backed up at, like, you could be backed way up. So, I see how he made the decision that he made. I don't know. And we'll see if it comes down to the situation where it's a normal weather game, not a blizzard with a foot of snow on the field, what he would do. But
well, if I'm paying a coach $3 or $4 or $5 million a year, and he's working 14-hour days, 80-hour weeks or whatever, I want him to be able to think on the fly. He doesn't come off to me, a guy who's been in the NFL or around football his whole life, which I think is probably a detriment. I want this guy to be able to think on the fly, like you just said. He should be able to think on the fly, saying, "Oh, I know this scenario because I've been coaching in the NFL for 20 fucking years." He just doesn't come off to me as a smart guy.
I'm not going to say that, but there's some things that he does that I don't love. I don't love the timeouts, like when the offense lines up, calling timeout. I feel like that stuff doesn't really give you an advantage because the offense can just change personnel, and offenses are going to realize that you do that every time and just like not put the real. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like they could. It's. I just feel like it doesn't really give you an advantage, like to do that, and stuff like that. I can use him maybe not doing, but this is his first year. The team's got 7 wins and has overachieved based on what expectations were for them for most people. And I think he hopefully will spend the off season like trying to review this year and learn, do things better next year. I mean, if you get to year 2 and you don't feel that there's been any improvement, not only in the team's play and his on-field decision-making during the game, then there's a problem. But it's year 1. I mean, you have to learn how to do this on-field stuff as a head coach. You never did it.
Well, maybe he should have played Madden all summer. Maybe that would have taught him some shit. If we lose the Dolphins, this is a must-win. The line's only 3.5 some places. If we lose to Jay Cutler, I don't care they beat the Patriots last week. Yeah, they're at home. Patriots are 1-3 or 1-4 or something in Miami the last 5 years, 6 years, something like that. But if we lose to Jay Cutler and Adam Gase in Buffalo in December in a must-win game, I'm not going to take that too well. I don't care what the fucking weather is. Well, I mean, unless it's another blizzard, but we can't lose this game.
I think I saw a tweet that the Bills have played Miami like at home the week after Miami beat New England like 3 times in the past like 10 years, and we like destroyed Miami all 3 times. So I just think I think that Patriots game is going to do a couple things. The main thing it's going to do is build up like national confidence in Miami, and that's why the line's only 3. But at the end of the day, I don't think it has any bearing or relevance to this game. And I feel like we've had some good success against Miami at home, and I don't see any reason why we should win. You're right; it's a must-win for sure. Miami stinks.
They're horrible. I mean, yeah, you're right. Because everyone saw them on national TV beat up on the Patriots.
Exactly.
The Patriots, and they're still the Patriots, but they have maybe one impressive win. They beat New Orleans like 2 months ago.
Before New Orleans. Yeah, Miami's 28th in the NFL in yards per game on offense. Pass yards per game, they're 19th. Rush yards per game. I mean, their offense, Cutler had a great game. This Kenyon Drake guy.
He's going to fuck us.
They're 29th in the league in rush yards per game. So on offense, they stink. They don't score. They're averaging fewer points per game than the Bills. And defensively, how are they doing defensively? I feel like they're middle of the pack in defense, a little better in defense. They got some good players, but this team isn't good. And we're at home. It's a must-win. Yeah, they got it. They got it.
Well, yeah, I'm scared. I mean, their front seven is good. They got our old boy Kiko, and I mean Sue. I mean, people like Sue and Cutler. They get in the snow. I feel like they could just quit instantly. I'm honestly. I mean, I could see them. I could see a scenario where they beat us, but honestly, I could see them quitting in the second quarter. Being Jay Cutler, fuck this. I'm gonna go find Tony Romo and do some play-by-play, or I mean, some color commentary in Atlanta Dome or something.
Yeah, Cutler definitely doesn't seem like a gamer in bad weather. I don't think the weather's supposed to be great, right? It could be like wintry mix, or
35
recently. But they're coming off 2 straight wins, and before that they lost like however many games. The Saints beat the Dolphins 20-0, by the way. The Dolphins beat the Chargers their first game 19-17 because the Chargers kicker missed field goals.
The Dolphins DVOA is 28. I mean, we're only 23, but yeah, I mean,
yeah, they're terrible.
I just don't see. I mean, I don't understand. Well, we already discussed the line only being 3 but Kenyon Drake, the guy's he's gonna. If anyone needs him in fantasy, I'd start him. The guy's gonna blow up. But Jarvis Landry, I mean, he's gonna. I don't know. He's only as good as Cutler is. So if Cutler takes off the second half and goes to a long smoke break, then never comes back, I wouldn't be shocked. So Adam Gase, is there any way he gets fired after the season? I'd say probably not, but
why am I scared of Kenyon Drake? Oh, he's had 2 straight good games.
And our defense is not that good.
Yeah, our rush D is terrible. So where do they? Is it this guy? Oh, he's been on their team the whole season. What a sidebar! What are the Seahawks? So this Ravens running back looks like a stud, and the Seahawks have had no running backs all season. Why'd they just give this? What the hell is that all about? This guy.
Because they had
Collins.
Collins.
He might carry Baltimore to the playoffs.
Because they had 5 running backs. They had Procise. They gave that fat idiot from Green Bay a bunch of money. And when you have 5 or 6 running backs, it's the same as my quarterback theory of not being able to. You can't draft 4 quarterbacks because you're not getting these guys enough touches to see them. And I mean, I feel like 1 in 3 running backs, if you give them enough touches, they'll probably be pretty good, at least in the short term.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
But I saw something where
QBs. I would draft 2 though next year.
Well, I definitely draft 2, but I mean, I saw something. It was Alvin Kamara, Kenyon Drake, and 2 other running backs were all on Alabama's roster as freshmen. Bo Scarborough too. They had all these guys as running backs, and then they realized they're all because then Kamara went to Tennessee, and it just shows how Alabama just has 3 deep, at least 3 deep at every position, pretty much, except maybe quarterback. But
wasn't Kamara a backup at Tennessee?
He split carries. I mean, these running backs in the 3rd, 4th, 5th round, 6th round, there's just dozens of them, and they come in, they have 3 or 4 amazing weeks, then they get hurt, and then they just get replaced. I don't know.
Yeah. So what are we going to see out of Tiny this week?
We're not. I mean, Tiny's been a full practice all week, and they're still not saying he's a starter for some inexplicable reason because McDermott has such a hard-on for Nick Peterson. I don't understand why he is latching himself to this Nick Peterson sinking boat. I mean, yeah, Peterman in the future he might be a serviceable NFL quarterback, maybe. But why is he so obsessed with playing him this year? I don't understand it. I'll never understand it.
Well, I think the reason is they want to see what they have for draft purposes, obviously. I mean, Peterman could be the difference between drafting 1 or 2 or whatever they plan to do. I mean, I'm assuming they're drafting a quarterback no matter what. Hopefully they're drafting a quarterback first round no matter what. But how good Peterman is definitely matters for what their plan is in the offseason. Who to bring in veteran-wise, you kind of need to know what you got. And, so Peterman, is he out of concussion protocol?
No, they said he's limited in practice, but I'm guessing he'll be out of the protocol. They'll both be dressed because Webb was practicing in a blue jersey, not a quarterback jersey. So I mean, unless they're complete morons, then I assume both of them will be able to dress on Sunday. Tiny, he'll run around, skip around, and do his normal 147 yards and run for 35 yards and probably make a stupid decision that when we most don't need him to, and we'll win by like 20-16 or something. It's going to come down to probably Hauschka. Can that guy kick in the snow?
Peterman was a full participant Thursday, but it's still in concussion protocol, like you said. So, yeah, you're right. So Taylor's starting, right? I mean, he pretty much said it, didn't he?
He's our starter when he's healthy, so presumably...
He might have a quick hook on him, though.
Yeah,
he might have a quick hook on him. He should have a quick hook on him. If we go to halftime and it's like 6-3 Browns and Taylor, or whoever we're playing, Miami, and Taylor's like, 7 of 15 for 37 yards, I want his ass on the bench.
Well, I'm tending not to disagree, unfortunately, although, well, I mean, if it's similar stats like that and we're losing, I don't know. I mean...
Well, if it's anything like his last 2 home games, then we can expect it.
It's likely. Well, I mean, again, who's he throwing the ball to? Can Kelvin Benjamin stay healthy for 2 consecutive quarters, let alone 2 consecutive games?
Yeah, he's like, every time he gets tackled, I'm afraid he's going to be just hurt right now. I think he is. He's just hurt. Like, what is he, for this week? Questionable? Is he going to be questionable? He's limited in practice.
I think it
might just be one of those things where he's going to play, but his knee's just messed up, but I don't know.
Yeah, he'll be hurt the rest of the year. Hopefully next year he's healthy because he's under contract for $8 million, inexplicably. And then, Jordan Matthews, ankle and knee injury surgeries. Like...
That's bad. That's like bad luck with him. I mean, he never had injury problems.
Yeah.
And then
our receivers
he comes here and like breaks his thumb his first game. Or no.
First practice.
First practice.
These receivers.
Broke a rib or something, didn't he? I don't remember, but it was like a non-contact, like ridiculous thing. It's just, it's like we're cursed. And then Benjamin comes here, first reception, he just blows his knee.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's why I can't waste all these draft picks on trading up to get a quarterback, especially if it's going to be the 3rd or maybe 4th quarterback in the draft. Some of these guys are probably going to fall, but that's another podcast. But we have so many fucking holes. We have no receivers. We're going to need another running back at least. Linebackers, linemen, every offensive lineman, defensive lineman. We can't trade up. We need all the draft picks that we have. We need more.
Is there any position we don't need? Like, are we set anywhere? I mean, I guess you can say our safeties have been decent and
we don't need a center
start next year.
We don't need a center. We got Groy and Wood.
Yeah, we have.
I guess
right.
That's it.
We got some
fullback.
Yeah. But other than that,
holes everywhere. I'd even draft a tight end. I mean, unless they like Logan Thomas.
What's that?
Unless maybe tight end, fullback, and center. I think those are and maybe safety. If we sign Gaines, I don't need a cornerback until like the 3rd round, 4th round, maybe. Give us a prediction for
Clay under contract until.
No, that contract's brutal. So I don't know. It's at least 2 more seasons. I don't even think we can get out of it. But I got to get to work. So give me a prediction here.
I think the Bills are going to win 24-10.
I'm sticking with 20-16. And it might. Can we get all field goals with 20 points? Maybe 6 field goals and a safety.
Mathematically,
safety.
Yeah,
maybe safety.
Happen.
Cutler will just chuck the ball backwards. Like he played here in 2006 with Denver, and he threw the ball backwards like 15 yards once. So maybe he'll do that again. Hopefully that game doesn't end the same way. But
yeah, we have Clay for 2 more years after this. Like you said, he's unrestricted in 2020.
I think that's 4 times you said I was right on this podcast. So that's good for me.
4 more than this entire season.
Well, we'll see you at the Ralph on Sunday. Home finale, be burning fish, burning tables, burning bodies.
So you're gonna get arrested and not even make it into the stadium?
No. Are you really arrested on private property? That's not possible.
Are you really burning a fish?
Hell yeah.
Oh man. Sweet.
We'll see you.
Later.
Stop the hammering. Stop the hammering out there. Who's got a hammer? Where is it?
Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
Watch out for your cornhole, bud.
Okay, Lawrence.
This is Nathan for you.
Because you couldn't take a hit? That's a joke. That's an absolute joke is what it is.
Shit, I'm all about the Bills like Thurman Thomas.
We're not making a playoff.